Yes, yes, yes. Really control it. Yes, that's just think every time you get if you need to turn, yeah, just release it a little bit to get the weight in the front. Yeah, if you come to any kind of bump or anything, yeah, just release it a little bit. Yeah, and then if it wheelies or anything like that, then release it a little bit. Yeah, but that's about that's pretty much my bike. Yeah. So accelerate, and then when you start to see it come up, just release it a little bit. Bring it back down again. Try and keep it straight line. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, keep running.
I can't. I'm trying to do that thing where you have that up there, so we've got to do is just tiny little.
If it makes it a bit easier, tap X to give you a brake as you accelerate. Okay. And then there. That makes it better. Imagine you're on bike.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. Ooh.
That's much better. Yeah. So better.
Right, what? That one. No. I can't do that.
If you watch the how bad it is on there. It's a little bit here. Careful. Not there, the stabilizer. It's struggling. Quite a lot. Mess up this corner. Yeah. Because it's mm,
Mario Kart, you got me. But that.
no, just imagine where's that little toy bike you've got? You're grabbing that. Mm, yeah. Just imagine it like that, yeah. So you're okay. So you're leaning, yeah, and then say it goes on the front, yeah. The rear will go like that, yeah. So if you are on a bump, yeah, on the front, when you hit the bump, the rear will do that, yeah. So when you you're basically accelerating and the front's just going like that on the bump, yeah. So when you go like that, if you let go of the throttle when it's doing that, so it wants to go in a straight line as fast as possible, yeah. So it's hitting bumps. If you let go of the throttle even a little bit, that bump will then grab, yeah, and it will throw it in whatever way the wheel's going. So if you're getting a bump and your handlebars are going like that, yeah, and it lands and digs in like that, it will then steer that way, yeah, because you're going 200 mile an hour and you're pushing that thing, yeah. So when you get to a bumpy bit, you're on the throttle. If you can't let go of the throttle, you need to keep it steady, yeah. So the bike it's not accelerating, it's just at it's balanced out kind of thing. So when but the only thing is when you go from a bit where you need to accelerate down and then go up a hill, you need to release the throttle before you get to the top of the hill. Because if you keep the throttle when you get to the top of the hill, it'll wheelie up and then the wheel will be spinning so fast that when you land, it will do some kind of grabby thing. Whereas if the wheel starts to slow down, instead of when it lands, it will fling you to the side, it will be slower than the road. So you'll grab and it will drag you down. Yeah. So instead of it doing that, yeah, it will land and do that. Yeah. Make sense? Kind of. Or you can do it so like if you hit a jump, you land and then you keep the throttle down and then lower it slow. Yeah. But it all depends on like you can do that where you lower it down if there's a long straight. Yeah. But if you need to turn, you need to do that, stabilize it by doing kind of like a weird throttle thing and then turn and then go on the throttle again. Yeah. Or if you say you've got grip and you're going down a hill, but you're coming to the top of a hill, when you get to the top of the hill, yeah, just as you are about to get to that bit where you do you know when you go in a car and you go to that bit where you feel light, yeah. So on a bike, if you're doing that and you're holding the throttle, you get to the top of the hill. If you keep that when you're at the top of the hill, you'll spin, yeah. So you basically because your weight is coming off you, and if it's coming off you, it's coming off tires, yeah. So you basically got a lot of power, and suddenly it's like it's just letting the wheel up, yeah. So basically, well, it's easy to remember because basically you hold the throttle, yeah. You come up to the hill and you go like that, and then back down again, yeah. And it's kind of as long as you do that, and then it's smooth. And if you do it right, and then kind of do it on, you get a lot of power coming down the hill, which is kind of fun. But in practice. I just can't get rid of that last one. Change the direction and everything makes it really different. So like this here is a press and a turn. I've got to lean off the throttle and then it really I didn't do the throttle then. Yeah. Okay, down third. Okay, so here, yeah. Half throttle, full throttle. And you should go to the you only release if you can't fucking but this is the fastest in travel, so you got to press, release the throttle, release the throttle, release the throttle, go. So all of this you can hold. Once you get to a certain speed, the wind pushes you down. But then the corner here, it won't turn unless I release the throttle. And it still didn't do that well. But that's because I had the wheelie control off. Whereas if I do the wheelie control on, and then it's fucking easy. Easy as fuck, because it does it all for you.
Do you want me to put some gum in the tub for you to have for work?
Yeah, but I don't have anything else to go with it. Yeah, I think it's what I got at work, that's actually. He had a leftover roast in it. Yeah, let's see here. Just hold it flat. I ain't got to do any of the weird shit. Stabilise the steer. Tap the front brake. I've just done that just to test whether that it does work. Obviously, I'm saying it's under these bikes are a bit more power. I think they've got like 50 horsepower and they're lighter, so I don't want them lighter. Oh, fuck. I was going to lean, but I thought that would wheel spin a bit out round it. Sometimes you aim and it looks like you're not going to make the corner, but then you can do the throttle and that will drift it out a little bit. Where, not that time, you know. So then, trying to see if you can find a sticker on that slot of Zootopia.
I'm Mardash.
Let's see if just type in decal. Zootopia flash decal. What the fuck? Don't have a day. Oh, fuck off, you stupid. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Oh, you fucking... I hate that game. I figured out how to do it, but a couple of corners faster. There was ones which went down gears, but if you just let go of the throttle, you can go around them. It's very good. Oh, every little helps. But I'm done with that.